understand. Who are you exactly?
Hello viewers, my name is Adam. This is Seeking Me Productions bringing you the trailer review. In this video we are discussing the new teaser in the first look at DC's Lanterns from DC Studios. And this is going to be an HBO show. And let's be honest here, it is a mixed bag as a first impression. It's highly contrast between what James Gunn has delivered overall from what he's been doing for DC adaptations. He brought, one of the things that he did say is that every project that in this new universe will look and feel different based on the different type of creators. This one being developed by Damon Lindelof, Tom King, Chris Mundy for this HBO show, and it looks like they took the True Detective inspiration very, very seriously, to the point that they do highlight multiple times throughout the dialogue that yes, this is part of Lantern's world, but very vaguely, especially on the visual front here. We're seeing a more introduction look at Aaron Pierre's John Stewart and Kyle Chandler's much older depiction of Hal Jordan, the first human Green Lantern from the Green Lantern Corps, who is an intergalactic space agency. That we don't see anything of that in this trailer, only mentioned throughout. Even a shout out to Chip, the squirrel, the alien squirrel through Green Lantern at the very end. It's too muted, especially compared to the first look at Superman, and even from what we received from the other added productions, Supergirl, and even Peacemaker, which is an HBO Max show. This is a show that is, from what we're seeing, is trying to appeal to an audience that, of course, are not necessarily as ingrained in comic book culture as much as the comic book aficionado or genre fans in general. I can get that. From what we see here as a plot concerns of a murder mystery in some small town in middle America, it's appealing, but I wish, as a first look goes, more comic elements should have been highlighted, especially if in contrast, it would be more interesting to show that contrast of much more grounded middle America with the fantastical elements and the colorful elements of the Green Lantern Corps. It was just a shame because we even see from a first look, I think the suit, a departure from what the previous Green Lantern film did, which was which was more practical with an actual costume as opposed to a CGI motion capture suit. But the design is not the same as the comics, so I'm not really sure what's going on here as far as directions goes. Worst case scenario that we're nothing really fantastical happens in the last the back half of this season. I have faith in what this creative team has done in the past, especially with Damon Lindelof's HBO's Watchmen, which was fantastic. It's fantastic, by the way. And other works that even Tom King, who is is a recurring comic writer, him especially working within DC as right now with other works, that I hope that the comic elements are just as prevalent as the more grounded and more broader appeal approach than what they are doing here. I am liking the performances, at least. The buddy or mentor-mentee relationship that we're seeing with Hal Jordan and John Stewart here. More aggressive relationship, looks like, which just has some precedence in the comics, but John Stewart was it wasn't really much of a trainee in the earlier period. It was more of a really clash of ideologies, which we also see in the trailer. So that is something that is looking forward to. But I really hope that the show is not too afraid going forward to showcase the more broader and wider world of DC Universe has to offer, like Superman did as the first official production of DC Studios. This show, but for this is, I say this is comparison to how Marvel introduced Wonder Man as a first look in this trailer, which it was a far departure from what Marvel's Cinematic Studio Universe has offered, to the point that it was like the furthest thing from that universe. But at the end of the day, it ended up being more of an entertaining outing, despite its very isolated existence. So let's hope that Lanterns becomes is a welcome surprise at the very least. And so that's my first opinions of the first teaser of HBO's Lanterns from DC Studios. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. What is your feelings on this? This is sure to have a vast opinions on the internet because of the very mix of opinions of fandoms in general in the comic book space. If you want to discuss even further, check us on all the social media outlets of X, Letterboxd, and Threads for all things that we know they post on this channel. Again, my name is Adam, and this has been a Sticky Me Productions. See you.